you ever heard of Charles Bogini?
Charles Bogini? World famous horse racer?
Is he?
Yeah. Charles Bogini?
Boggini?
Do you not spell it for me, baby?
Are you serious?
No, I have no idea who that is.
Hello and welcome to Hardly Working, the show about life, love, and labor hosted by the couple that works, plays, and stays together. I'm Kelly.
And I'm SP. Did you ever realize when you say hello, you go, hello?
Yeah, I know.
You hit the emphasis on the back end.
I don't know why. I think you
hello.
You do it the opposite.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's probably from all my years doing Chick-fil-A stuff. I don't know why, but...
Do you remember the videos we used to shoot with that?
Don't forget to eat more chicken.
There's another podcast that signs off that way.
I already know. I came up with that. I just want everyone to know I came up with that. And in fact, when I go to, there's a couple Chick-fil-A's that actually use that now. Yeah. Because you own nothing whenever you make something in Chick-fil-A, which is a fun fact for all you viewers or listeners out there.
Yep. When
you work for companies like that, if you make or create anything in that, like Chick-fil-A sauce was created by an operator in a store.
Was that operator paid for that creation?
No, it was paid to be an operator, but no, he was not.
Isn't that crazy?
It was owned by Chick-fil-A from that moment forward.
You know, that's been a big fight for... It is, but there's a precedent for it. Like all these comic book creators, the person who created Superman and Batman and Spider-Man, all these, they were hired as basically like gig workers with Marvel and DC, and they
own none of the properties.
Well, they certainly don't own them, and a lot of them have really bad deals. Like I was listening to a podcast that's probably like 10 years old now, but the people who created Superman, like that estate, went back to court with Warner Brothers to try to get more of the money that they were owed
because it made so much money, and at the time you didn't know. You were just like,
yeah, exactly.
Did they win?
No, they had an agreement, a standing agreement, that Warner Brothers or whoever it was, DC Comics, would pay them a certain amount of money a year for the character. Any guesses? Yeah, they do. But any guesses what that dollar amount is?
$1,000.
It's definitely more than that.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
$1 million.
$25,000 a year.
I mean, that's a lot of years. It's a lot of money to make.
Not a year. If you created Spider-Man or Iron Man... $25,000 a year, cut them off $1 million a year or something.
Yeah, you're not going to.
They still wouldn't feel it. They still wouldn't feel it.
That's so weird. That sucks. But yeah,
capitalism, baby.
So all
we love it.
I made a bunch of videos for Chick-fil-A. There are operators that use them for their team now, even though I haven't worked at Chick-fil-A for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I walk into Chick-fil-A's, they do a double take.
Like, who is that?
And sometimes for fun, at the end of my order, I'll say, and don't forget to eat more chicken.
That is so...
And they'll be like, oh my God, it's you. And I'll be like, yeah, it's me.
I wish you would do that for real.
I have.
Really? Well, not with me.
No. But
you do that, you're like, that's my order. And don't forget, I'm the girl from the videos.
There was 2 times, but one time in particular at the one that's closest to us, I was in there and I think Mark was there. And so I'd like said hi to Mark, but I'd gone inside to pick up an order something, catering, something like that. And this person kept walking past me and kind of looking at me. And you know, when you can tell, like, oh, that person isn't sure if they recognize you.
Yeah.
And so I asked Mark, I was like, you guys still watch my videos? He's like, yeah. And so the person walked by and I think he gave me my order or something like that. And he was like, are you? And I literally looked at him and went, and don't forget to eat more chicken.
That's awesome.
And he went, oh my God, it's you. It's really you. And I was like, yeah.
Well, as a person who's done training videos for many companies myself and has been recognized that way, I think it's funny because those people don't know that you used to work at Chick-fil-A. So they probably just assume you're an actor who got hired to do it.
Yeah, which is really funny because I wrote, produced, starred in, you directed, but we did that together.
I was the DP. I was the director of photography.
We've written... and technically directed, produced, edited all of the things of like truly probably 50 training videos. Put it on your resume.
That's right. Yeah. No room for it next to all the other stuff that's blocking up my resume.
Yeah, you know, sorry, this is just a random thought that I've had. I never thought about it up until now, but if I wanted to, which I don't, but I could probably take those videos. I'm sure we have them somewhere and like have them on like a profile of like, yeah, I do training videos. Like that's what you can hire me for.
Yeah. But they'd be like, she doesn't know what she's talking about because in the industry, they're called industrials.
Okay. Whatever. You would tell me that though. See, that's the thing. I could do industrials.
You can do industrials. Yeah, you could totally. In fact, I just did I have one today? I kind of had an industrial audition today. It wasn't for internal training, but it was like a pretend one. I'm sure I can say this because they're shooting it before this comes out. But it was like to host, we'll say like XYZ grocery store was like, hi, welcome to XYZ grocery store. It's your first day and this is amazing. But it wasn't for a real grocery store. It was for a video game.
Yeah.
So it was like me pretending to be what I do normally.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I watched it back and I was like, doesn't feel like when they hire me for an industrial. I felt like I was acting more.
Yeah, I mean, you were.
Yeah, that's true. It was weird. It was weird. Anyway, it's been a long time since we've been in the studio. And even right now, you might notice it sounds a little bit different.
Because we're not there.
No, I've been globetrotting, gallivanting around the world. And we didn't want to leave you without an episode this week. So we shot it from our home.
Our beautiful home that we're back in that has floors and ceilings and furniture.
It has doors.
Floors.
I don't know what comes after that.
Drawers.
It has all those things and so many more.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, it's coming together. We will shoot an episode later and we'll give you a little tour at the end of it, but not this week. We are in our home studio giving you that sweet, sweet audio goodness. And but it has been a long time since we've been in the studio. In fact, we shot our last episode before Father's Day and Father's Day happened. We went to Topgolf.
Yeah.
To celebrate me as a dad because we all know how much I love sports.
Yeah, it was more for my dad.
Truthfully, though, I enjoyed Topgolf. It's fun to do that.
Yeah, Brooklyn's into it now, too. And she's pretty good at it.
Yeah, she's pretty good at it. She
gets tired.
Yeah, she gets fatigued. And her hand was hurting her and all this stuff.
Yeah, that's okay.
But she was good. She had a good time. We had a good time. That was our Father's Day. Driving an hour to Montebello to play some Topgolf, but that was pretty good.
Bam.
I, as mentioned earlier, was going around the world all the way to Mexico, which is...
But not close Mexico.
Far Mexico. That's the thing. Yeah, it's like if you're going to Cabo or Ensenada, pretty close.
Yeah, but it's the same as like, are you going to Vancouver, Canada, or are you going to Toronto?
Totally.
It's like,
or just
going
saying,
to Canada, but like where?
But we're saying we're going to Mexico. That's like being like, I'm going to America.
Oh yeah, we're going to TJ.
I'm going to America.
Oh yeah, we're in America.
Yeah. But if someone was like, I'm going to America, could be Los Angeles, could be Maine.
That's true. You know, it's funny because I've seen this pop up more and more on TikTok of these British people or people from the UK who come over and go like, basically say like I never understood why Americans like didn't travel more, like I don't get it. Yeah. And then he's like, and then I moved to America and I'm like, you do travel. But like state. Your states are like countries.
Yeah, and I kind of wish they were countries.
I know. Then we've been to like a lot of countries by now.
I'd rather that's true. I'd rather be the United Countries of America.
And we can all be separate and you can go do your own, everyone can do their own thing.
It honestly would be better.
We could have a Brexit, but like whatever you call it for Californians.
I think we call it brunch. Yeah, but that's true. I mean, our country is gigantic. When you look at Europe, I think you could overlay all of America on top of all of Europe and cover it all. Yeah,
but it's still big when you think about it. But their countries are just like, are basically
small states. Yeah, well, the size of states.
So, they're not states, but they're...
Stuff. Their own stuffs.
Yeah. But they might as well be. And now, obviously, except for England.
You talking about Brexit again?
Yeah, like, but you don't have to have a different passport to go to all those places. If you have a passport and you're part of like, not Brexit, whatever it's called. It's the UK. It's the
United
Nation. UN? No.
Look, as an American,
I remember what it was when we were there.
Yeah, because we got stuck in a big long line.
But if you have like a passport that's within that, then you don't have to stand in the long line to get anywhere else.
To get into Amsterdam.
Yeah. Well, that's because we were behind a bunch of people from England.
I know.
Because they couldn't use the thing anymore. But it's the same thing in the United States. Like, you don't have to have a passport to go to a bunch of different states. It's the same idea out there. So it basically is, they're just call them countries. So we should just call ours countries. Anyways.
That's what I'm saying. And then we wouldn't need a president over all of the states. Just over each state. Like a governor. But we're not here to talk about politics.
Except, it is an election year.
I've been trying to not think about it. And I'll be honest.
You'll have to at some point.
I mean, I'm gonna in like October and November. But this podcast is an escape from the real world. Hardly working. Hardly working through it. We can talk about this, but hardly working. We ignore it. We pretend it doesn't exist. All that to say, I was in Mexico doing an event.
On an Aztec pyramid. Not a real one, like I thought.
Why did you think it was a real Aztec pyramid in Cancun, Mexico?
Let us look at our text messages. You go on. Let me find them.
I was in Mexico doing a corporate gig out there, dueling DJ's gig with me and my buddy Corey. And we did get to DJ in a room. It was like 2,000 people, and we were on top of an Aztec pyramid. Not a real Aztec pyramid. Who in the world would think that would be the case?
Okay, ready for the text messages?
Wife. Yeah.
I said, I hope it goes so well. You said, me too. I think it will. It's pretty crazy. We're DJing on the top of an Aztec pyramid. To which I went, that's so fun. Get some good footage. It's like a once in a lifetime thing, you know, and that's pretty cool. And I'm pretty jealous.
Yeah, I really thought you meant like...
You said nothing else to be like, it's not a real Aztec pyramid, and you sent no pictures. And so I was like, wow, like you're DJing on an Aztec pyramid. And I told your mom...
I'm sorry, what?
An Aztec pyramid?
You definitely called it an Aztec period just now.
Oh, pyramid. But I then also was talking to your mom about it. And she was like, yeah, they have those out there. And you can go to the top of them and be at them. And so I was like...
And like Tulum and stuff? Or
I don't know. Your mom knew you were in Cancun.
Didn't we go to Cancun with Nick and Simon? We went to Cabo?
Which is on this side. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
I think we went to Cancun. Look up where Tulum is. But this episode is just us talking.
Being like, what is it?
Just us talking. No, I think we went to Cancun, and that's where we had the story that we wished we had a podcast so we could talk about it. But now we've forgotten because it's been 2 years. Where's Tulum, baby?
I'm looking it up.
Well, as she looks it up, I'll continue to express this. So they built this like pyramid. I'm not talking like Egyptian pyramid that has like smooth sides. I'm talking Aztec style pyramid that's like up, across,
right.
up, across.
Cancun.
Oh,
did we fly all the way over there?
Yeah, and that's why I was like, I can't fly anywhere else ever again. I'm over it. Anyway,
we were really close to Chichen Itza.
Chichen Itza?
And we didn't even go. I would have gone to Chichen Itza had I known. It's probably not that close, actually. It's on the other side.
We went to some ruins.
Yeah, we did. And you couldn't go on top of those ones.
No. And neither could I this time, DJing on top of them. So it was one of those like more squared off pyramids. Lady, I gotta get through this explanation.
But can I say, reading the text messages, do you understand why I thought it was real? And then with the conversation paired with your mom, I was like, oh, like, that's crazy that they're letting him DJ on top of a freaking real
that's
pyramid.
What I am having a hard time with. That you're like... You know, this company must have a lot of money to bring out a whole PA system so they can DJ on top of like a 75-foot pyramid away from everybody in the jungle.
They're not all that tall.
I don't know the heights of them all.
I know. I'm just saying. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And like, it's not out of the ordinary for you. Well, you do lots of cool things.
It's going to make my actual story a lot less cool. It was like a styrofoam pyramid they built out of 2x4s and stuff.
It was styrofoam.
But the reason I said it was because the way that we went on to quote unquote stage, which was on top of the pyramid, is they had this whole video and audio that was like, it was not real, but it was an earthquake and the top 2 layers of the pyramid crumbled down to the ground.
Did you feel it?
Yes. It felt like a real earthquake. In fact, I was thinking about this. I might start putting some of the visual aids on our Instagram because most people don't watch the video.
I know, that's what
but they would want to see it.
I keep telling you that we should put more stuff like that on our Instagram.
Well, maybe we can talk about this off air.
Perfect. And if you have any thoughts, you can follow us at Hardly Working Insta, or you can email us at hardlyworkingfans@gmail.com. And I think we might have a TikTok, but I'm not actually sure.
You know, I think that was the end of season 1. I was like, I got us a TikTok. And then I did. But I went to log into it and it was like, you've been out of it too long. And I didn't remember the password. So we have a TikTok. We parked it.
What is it?
Hardly Working TikTok, I think.
Oh, yeah. Go follow us there.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. We'll post stuff.
Yeah, we are. Look, we're almost a year in and we're definitely starting to figure it out.
Yeah, but we have how many episodes?
I don't know.
More than the average people. We've made it past the people that fail.
That's right.
That quit, the quitters. That's what I was trying to say. We've made it past the quitters.
Fail. That's so funny.
Failing's an important part of life. Okay?
Failing is important.
Failing, when you learn from your failure, that's an important part of life. I was just talking to Brooklyn about this the other day.
Yeah?
She did not do... she didn't do that well in her school statewide testing in terms of writing and reading and comprehension, which is so weird because she reads all the time.
It's true. Also, I didn't do great on those things either. And
yeah, but she got a 4 out of 4 in math. The thing that she cried about every day, she had to do math homework. She was above average.
Yeah.
Like a way above.
Yeah.
Okay. And then in the thing that she does all the time, which is reading, like she stinking read a whole book in 2 days.
Was it a comic book?
No, Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
No, it's a comic book. Have you ever opened that book?
I saw some of it. It wasn't like pictures like that.
It's not. Oh.
It wasn't like her other book that's like a graphic novel.
Yeah. Okay. Like Dogman.
Yeah, it wasn't like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
It had actual writing, but she read that in like 2 days, and she's reading Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and she's almost done.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand why she did so poorly there. Spelling, writing, I understand that.
Well, that's what it was. And then it was like writing sentences that people like writing in a way that you understand the story you just read.
Yeah.
She's not very good at that. And we did some stuff at home, and I was like, yeah, I get it. It's because she will get to the first thing and be like, well, that's the answer. And then she's like, yeah, there's more, but I'm not going to write it. And I'm like, you have to write the whole thing.
I think the hard thing for her and for our life is that I am definitely a person who's like close enough.
Yes.
Which does not work for things like math and science. Like there's real answers here.
Yeah.
But in the real world, most of things are like close enough.
Here's the deal. I don't really care if she's good at math or like science unless she wants to go into something that you need to be good at those things for.
Sure.
But like writing and reading is one of those things that I'm like, it never ends.
No.
Like you have to know how to do those things.
That's a COVID kid thing though.
I know, but now I'm just like talking about our daughter. It is, but also she has a journal right now, a diary, if you will. It's very cute. It's a quote unquote secret diary, except she lets me read it like every
night. And she has me draw on every page.
Yeah. So like, is it secret? I don't know, but she can pretend that it is. It's totally fine. It's great. But she let me read a passage the other day, and I was reading it, and it's way better than it was a couple of years ago when I was like, what is that word? Mm-hmm. And I'm just guessing with through context clues. Yeah. But at there was a couple words that were misspelled, and at the very end she wrote "by." Any guesses how she spelled the word "by"?
B-I-E.
Yes.
Really?
How did you know? 100%. And I was like, you're 9. Like, you have to know how to spell
It is
by.
so weird with the amount of reading that she does that she's not better at spelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. I mean, and she's really smart. I just need to make it very clear. Writing is just a tough thing for her. Or spelling, rather.
Yeah.
She writes all the time. She reads all the time. But she is close enough type of kid, because we'll be reading a book and it's like a longer word than normal, and she will she'll get the first like third, maybe 2/3, and then she'll just assume the rest of it. And I'm like, does that make sense? She's like, no.
Yeah.
And I'm like, then it's probably not the word.
Yeah. It's because we've taught her context clues for so long. She's like, in context, this word is cats. And you're like, no, it's catastrophe.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Moving on.
It was the world's biggest cats. That's not what that means. The world's biggest catastrophe.
The world's biggest cat sphere.
Yeah, cat sphere. Exactly.
Is what she would read and be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a cat sphere.
There's no cats in this book at all. But yeah, like, I get it. It's a big cat sphere.
It seems like a weird time to introduce that idea, but we'll do it.
All right, Brooklyn.
Yeah. Well, all that to say, I was in Mexico.
On top of a fake pyramid made out of styrofoam that crumbled.
Which I may or may not put on Instagram.
We will, because the people want to see it. The people want to see it.
Kelly is picketing our living room currently.
Yeah.
Other things, Sean's 40th birthday.
Oh, that was so fun.
Happy birthday. Shout out to Sean.
That was fun. He rented a water slide where it's like 2 slides, like a blow up jumper one, and
you climb up and slide down. Yeah.
And you slide down. But they have like a little pool, like a little kiddie kind of pool attached to it at the end, which isn't a kiddie pool. It's just where you land when you come down the slide, but it's big enough that you can sit in it.
Yeah, you splash into it.
Brooklyn and I had a blast in that.
It was you two were like the meme that I saw where the chick is like, I feel like you're only here for the zip line.
Yeah, that's me.
I feel like you guys were only here for the water slide.
Okay, I just need you to know, I did not have the intention of going into that. I brought my bathing suit because I was like, I may want to put like my feet in. And then we got there, and it was so hot that I was like... It's been really
hot in LA.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think that I'll survive if I don't get in this water right now. Plus, I was like, Brooklyn's in there like having a blast, and it's a memory. She like remember us going down the slide together and hanging out and using water guns that my brother had, which was so fun.
So fun, so cute.
Yeah, and Sean did a great job. He got to show off his new house. He got a brand new barbecue, so he was cooking. I know that he was having his tough times. I think he wanted to be able to enjoy the party and not necessarily host it.
Yeah.
It's hard throwing parties.
Yeah, sure.
But it was fun to see his friends come and
lots of people there.
Him interact with Brooklyn, and I hope he had a good time.
Well, it was good times.
It went past, I wasn't there past 8, but I hear that it went past 8 p.m.
Nice.
Because more people kept trickling in, which is great.
Yeah. Hey, do I look any different? Do I look...
Like you got a haircut?
No, like vibrant, beautiful.
Always.
Because this week we have a sponsor, and that... I'm just kidding. Well...
is Club Pilates.
That's right, baby. I'm a Pilates boy now.
That's right, you are. Did you work out today?
Yeah.
Did you move your body on a reformer?
I removed my body on what I can only describe as a medieval torture device.
If used right.
Yeah, you might be able to like tie your hands and feet to and then get pulled apart until you explode through the center.
Did you have a good time though? Not being exploded through the center and pulled apart, but...
So Kelly and I did Pilates today.
Yeah, we did.
For context of what you're asking me.
Yeah, which if you know what he just described is called a reformer, which is just something that you slide on.
Yeah, I'm more evangelical than reformer.
You slide on it and it helps to assist you.
That joke got way too much of a laugh from you, like an embarrassing amount.
That was funny.
Yeah, you slide around on it. It's a big wooden...
There's no water though. It's not like the water slide. But anyways.
It kind of reminded me of a rowing thing, but not
yeah.
rowing. Well, there were straps and
yeah, it's probably similar.
Look,
we
went to
could
Pilates.
test out the row house down the street if you want to like compare and contrast.
There's some rows in this house. All that to say, we did Pilates today. And it was 30 minutes. Are you feeling good, bad, tired,
I feel
energized?
Great. A little bit sore in some areas, but great. And it was only 25 minutes. You and I both said it. I was like, I don't know that I could do an hour, which would probably really be like 50 minutes. I don't really know that I could.
Seems like a lot.
I would try.
Okay. Well, we might. We'll keep you updated on the Pilates journey.
I had a good time, though. I would go back. Sometimes I need a little push in a class, you know? It gets me out of the house.
Yeah. That's why we have a Peloton, but don't use it.
I mean, we do use it sometimes. Right now, we haven't used it since we've been out of the house.
You're a destination exerciser.
I have been on the Peloton for like multiple times and have been on it, but I do better when I have someone telling me what to do that is looking at me. Like when I used to go work out at the gym with Mandy and Jay, I was in the best shape of my life. But Mandy was telling me what to do. Yeah. I was just following her lead. I just had to show up.
Yeah.
It was early, like 5:30 in the morning in Simi Valley. But all I had to do was show up.
Yeah.
And then like I would do the workout, but like the workout was prepared for me.
Well,
and I do much better
like
that, which is why Pilates was great.
Yeah, yeah.
And she was South African.
But she was not kind.
She wasn't kind, but I heard her accent and I was like, oh my God. She's South African. So
I've heard that.
What?
I've heard that.
Yeah. It's very slight.
Yeah. I always think of Jackie when I think of South African accents.
She has a pretty strong accent. Her and Shaw both do.
Yeah. Well,
sorry, for those of you who don't know, my best friend Simone is from South Africa, and so those are her parents.
Simone has no South African accent.
Every now and then, very certain words. Golf. She can't say that word like an American.
American?
No, she says it like a South African. Golf.
Oh,
instead of golf.
Yeah.
I'm just calling her out right now. Love you, Shim.
Well, speaking of things,
and she calls things like a robot and in the boot.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't. No.
What's the robot?
It's the lights at a signal.
The traffic lights. What's
she
the boot?
doesn't call them robots.
Yes, she does.
No, she doesn't.
She probably does it less
she
now.
says trunk, not boot.
Yeah, but for a long time she said boot.
I feel like you made up both of them.
No. She's laughing so hard right now.
Well, look, we made up.
Just made her laugh hard.
We made up a lot of things as children.
I didn't.
A lot of things.
I didn't make any of those things up.
Okay, I'm just trying to segue. That's all.
What did we make up as children?
A lot of things.
Did we do anything else this week before you just move on from that?
Dang, that's such a good segue. No.
Okay,
I've been gone in Mexico.
And as kids, what did we do?
We made up a lot of things.
Yeah, what type of stuff did we make up?
Well, it wasn't us as much as it was maybe our parents making things up and telling us things that we just believed.
I'm not going to say any because I think I'll take some of what you have.
Because the internet didn't exist and we couldn't just look stuff up?
It did. It just sounded like...
No, lady.
Sorry.
The internet didn't exist when we were children. The earliest I can remember any internet was 3rd grade. And that was like dial-up. That was that modem.
Yeah. Or you would play...
Awooga! Or whatever it was.
You would play that game. It's like a spaceship and you'd press the space bar and it shoots you up. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Doodle jump?
I don't know.
I do not know what you're talking about.
My parents had a very tiny computer in their room.
Yeah.
For a long time. And they would let us play games sometimes, but it was like the very basic, like side scroll games.
Yeah.
And then you'd press a button and shoot stuff.
My grandpa had a computer in his room. He was like, I don't know why. He was like the tech guy in our family.
Yeah.
Even though he was 100. And so we would like play games, side scroller type games in his room.
Yeah.
And it was the best.
Yeah.
Now all these children have iPads.
I know. They don't need.
And Brooklyn's like, oh, I love this game. And then an ad comes up. She's like, can I get this game? And then you got to get it. It wasn't like in our times. But you can jump from thing to thing.
Yeah, you can do
for
that.
us, we'd have to go to like
for
Toys
us,
R Us,
old-timers.
Get a $60 video game and hope we liked it.
What Toys R Us is because it doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, no more Toys R Us kids. We're all old adults trying to make it through.
Kids.
All that to say, a lot of things told us as children that turned out not to be true. So I put, it's not as much of a game as like a question, but I still titled it. It's called, go ahead.
I have questions.
So. It's called, Did You Believe It?
The answer is going to be yes for every single thing.
Yeah, because why wouldn't you?
I don't know. But also, did you ever look up why they started or if they're true or not?
Yeah. Oh, wait, no. I didn't look up like the derivation.
Like, can you not swim?
That's one of them.
I know. For 20 minutes after. I believe that one.
Well, I would hate to have it spoiled. So all I want to know is, did you believe it? First one. Your tongue tastes different things on different parts.
No. No one ever told me that, though.
Really? I was taught that in school.
No.
That, like, the tip is sweet and the back sides are salty and the middle is...
That might be true.
Not according to this.
Okay.
There are no different sections for each taste, like bitter, sour, salty, sweet, etc.
Then, yeah. No, but I don't know that anyone ever actually told me that or taught me that, so...
That's weird, but...
Or if they did, it was too young to remember. I don't know.
How about this one? That was immortalized in things like Rugrats and childhood educational videos and just childhood cartoons is what I really mean. Don't wake a sleepwalker.
Sorry, that was a long pause. I don't know that I've ever heard that one.
Are you kidding me? You haven't heard Don't Wake a Sleepwalker?
Well, no one, I mean, my brother sleptwalked a few times. But never in our house. Always on vacation.
How do you say that in the past tense?
Sleptwalked? He sleepwalked?
Sleptwalked? I don't know which word to change the tense
so I think it's sleepwalked.
I don't know. Okay, so one of your brothers did that.
Yeah, but it was never at the house. We didn't have any sleepwalkers in the house, and so I don't know that we ever talked about that. You, however, are a sleepwalker.
I am, and so is our daughter.
And so is Brooklyn. But my brain goes, no, of course you wake them.
Yeah, but there is... Like, it's very well known outside of the Sweeney household. Don't wake a sleepwalker. They'll freak out.
I will say this. The more you talk about it, the more I'm like, I probably did hear it. So I probably believed it because I didn't have any sleepwalkers in my home. So, like, I don't know. But, yeah. But that is it true? Do people freak out when you... I don't really have experience with it.
That's the assumption.
Brooklyn, but Brooklyn's always just gone right back to bed.
They'll be really confused, but it's okay. They're no more likely to hurt themselves if they were awake. If they were awoken. I don't know.
That word sounds wrong.
Well, on here it says awoker, and that didn't seem like a word. Tells you the credibility of my research. How about this? You familiar with bullfighting? Not where bulls fight each other, but a bullfighter has...
You hold like the red thing and they'll come?
Yeah.
That's not true.
What's not true? That bullfighting does exist?
Bullfighting exists?
Yeah.
Okay, just get to your question.
Bulls hate the color red, and that's why they use a red cape.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's not true.
It's not true. Bulls are actually colorblind.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're colorblind.
They react to the motion of the bullfighter's clothes. Yeah.
I don't know why that's the sound, but since you can't see me...
Can I hear it one more time? That's your bullfighting music?
I don't know. Yeah. For today. That was good. Better rendition than mine.
Yeah, well, second draft's always a little bit better.
When I was younger, I think I did believe that.
Did you know that you can see the Great Wall of China from space.
I've heard that.
False.
You can't see it from the space
Don't be stupid.
shuttle. It's not that big.
No, it says it's not visible from space. It's a myth, so stop saying it.
I'm going to look it up.
Look it up. Fine. No. But I grew up with that. There's only a certain things you can see from space. Apparently you can't. Which, why would you? Have you seen videos of how wide the Great Wall of China is? Like, it's pretty narrow.
Yeah. There's people in there, though. Dead people.
Yeah. Wow.
Sorry.
False. It's a myth. No, I bet that one's true.
No, it's true.
I got a couple more here. Oil stops pasta from sticking. That's why you put oil in your pasta water.
So I'm just going to say this. We didn't really put oil in our pasta water growing up. I do know that, though, and I believe that as an adult now, because I was like, I guess that's why people do that.
Yeah. I always do. Zhuzh it in a little.
I know you do. Is it not?
It says, nope, it can't stop it from sticking, but it will stop or help water from foaming or boiling over, which I don't think it does. Because I always put pasta or oil in there, and it still boils over. But I put a wooden spoon on the top, and that's what stops it from boiling over.
I do know that, which sometimes doesn't work, but works most of the time. So what does oil do other than that? Because if you for instance, if we were about to go to Trader Joe's right now and buy one of those like ravioli things, on the back of it,
oil in it, yeah.
But it tells you,
yeah.
So why do you put it in if you don't need it?
I don't know. I think it's true. But I grew up with a lot of lies, so I don't know. Do you know how dogs sweat? They're covered in fur. They can't really sweat from their skin. Have you heard about how dogs sweat?
I don't know.
Really?
How do dogs sweat?
Fine, we'll skip it.
No, how do dogs
growing up, I was told dogs sweat by salivating, by panting. They sweat off their tongue.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
You've never heard that?
No.
Well, good, because it's not true.
Yeah.
They regulate their temperature through panting.
Yeah,
but they actually sweat through their
skin.
Pause.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know. But I didn't think
And the answer is skin. See, I changed it. I was like, pause as in take a break.
Is it skin?
No, it's pause. How about this? Bats are blind. Blind as a bat.
I mean, I heard that term before. A lot of this stuff, I'm like, did I?
I just have to phrase it in colloquialisms for you.
I think things scare me so much.
Yeah.
That
even if I don't want to know about a bat.
They can see me. But no, I do think, I remember learning, here's what I remember. Learning that a lot of people said bats were blind and they used echolocation to be able to know where they are. But they're not actually blind. They just don't have very good eyesight.
Well, they do use echolocation, but they are, in fact, not blind. They can see, but they also use echolocation.
Because they can only really see in the dark.
Well, they're nocturnal, so they only come out at night, which is probably why the pioneers thought they were blind. I don't know.
Who knows?
Hey, there's one thing you should never do.
Swim?
No, don't touch a baby bird.
Oh, because if you touch a baby bird.
Yeah, you know it.
They'll smell like you and their moms won't want them.
Yeah.
It's not true, is it?
It's not true at all.
I have heard that. I had believed that.
Yeah, see, this is my new tactic, is just try to lead you into it to finish the thing. Yeah.
What if I say something totally outrageous, though? You're going to be like...
On a podcast?
No, what?
That would be wild on a podcast. Don't touch baby birds. Birds have a limited sense of smell, so a bird won't abandon their babies if it smells like a human. That's just a myth.
Yeah, that's good.
It's just a myth,
Lets me know that I can pick up a bird off the floor and it'll be okay.
Look, if we were at the beach, though, and you found a bird, and you just ate food, you're going to have to wait 30 minutes.
Because I can't go swimming?
Yeah, don't swim.
That I believe.
Until 30 minutes after. Why, though? Why?
Because you could throw up in the pool.
No. It's because you get cramps.
Oh.
Because you could throw up in the pool? I guess that one's probably true. But after 30 minutes, you could still throw up. It's still in your stomach.
I always thought. My parents told me not to do that.
No, it's because you could get a cramp. And I guess if you get a cramp, you'll not be able to swim at all and die. Yeah, no, it says it doesn't increase the risk of cramps. In fact, alcohol is the biggest increaser of that. But a full stomach will make you short of breath. So I guess maybe there is some truth to it.
Yeah, that's why I'm always like, Welcome, don't go in. But I thought it was just because if you did too much motion, you'd throw up.
Nope. Let me burn through a few here because there's some I really want to make sure I get to, but there's others that we can just throw away. We have 5 senses. Actually, we have close to 20 senses, including balance, pain, movement, hunger, thirst, etc. Are you a cop? Because if you're a cop, you have to tell me you're a cop. Not true. That was just popularized by Hollywood movies. Undercover cops do not have to tell you if you're a cop.
Well, yeah, they can't.
No, and they shouldn't. And also, a goldfish does not have a 3-second memory. Sorry, Ted Lasso fans. In fact, their memory can last up to 3 months.
That's still pretty short.
So now I've got 3 left, but they're ones that I think you've heard.
Okay.
Once you shave your hair, it's going to grow back.
Like more coarse.
Thicker, darker. No.
That's what I said.
It's a myth.
Really?
It's a myth.
It's good to know.
Regrown hair isn't thicker, coarser, or darker, as you said, and were deceived for decades. It just appears so because it's no longer tapered. I don't really understand what that means. But I will say that when I shave my face and it comes back, it is like razor blades because it has like a pointy edge to it.
Because it's short, probably.
It's horrible.
But like our hair doesn't feel like that. I think that's what's probably whatever happens when it tapers, huh?
Taperific. Hey, don't swallow gum though. Because
it'll
it's
stay
going to
inside
take
you
for like 7 years.
Yeah.
It's not true at all.
Yeah. What about if you swallow a watermelon seed? Will you grow a watermelon in you?
That one's true. That one is true. No. Swallowing gum takes 7 years to digest. No. The chewy base of the gum is indigestible and literally just passes straight through you.
Great.
And the remainder is just absorbed like any other thing.
Good.
Last one. The water in toilets in Australia
flushes the opposite direction.
Not true.
Why do people say that?
I don't know. Well, I do know. Because the Coriolis effect happens, but it doesn't happen with toilet waters. It does not rotate the other direction in the southern hemisphere.
Yeah, it rotates whatever way you flush it.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Yeah, I don't think toilets rotate a certain way because of gravity.
No, it's however it
it's like how it's designed. Yeah.
But I had heard that one.
Anyway, we just busted like 50 myths. I hope you enjoyed.
Mythbusters, what we
Did
can't say
you
that.
believe it? Or Mythbusters.
Can't use that.
No, can't use that one. Anyway, we've been talking about doing that for a while. Talking about old things that we grew up with.
Oh.
That were false.
Yeah, well.
Yes?
That was a good one. Not many things that are false, but speaking of words.
I mean, this is one hell of a segue. You're really nailing it.
Speaking of things that aren't true and maybe were bad to say to people.
That's much better. You're doing great.
Have you heard of the bad drinks that have been recalled? The 28 drinks that have been recalled by the FDA in 2024.
This year?
This year.
No, I haven't. So there's been drinks within the last 6 months that have been recalled. Have I drank them?
So we're going to go through and see.
Is Dr. Pepper on there?
We're going to go through and see.
Oh, Jiminy.
But here's what I need to start off with.
Hit me.
All but 4 of the drinks that were recalled.
Mm-hmm. Are sodas?
No. Were recalled because all but 4 were recalled because they had
swallowed gum when they were a child.
Drugs, bacteria, or harmful chemicals in them that the company did not disclose.
Oh my God. Hit me with them. But come up with a good name for it.
Did you drink this soda or drink in the last year?
How about did you drink it?
That's good. Some of these you're not going to hear, and then I'll have to go up. But some of
this is like the longest title ever. Like headline: local paper company blows away audience by hospitality, comma, do you think they'll come back? That's like an office bit.
Okay. Did you drink it? 2024.
Let's find out.
So a lot of these you're not going to have had because I don't even think I'd heard about them.
Are they from Guatemala?
No, but you have goat milk formula.
Like baby formula? For baby goats or baby humans?
Goats. I think
it's for baby goats.
It's for humans.
This podcast has gone off the rails
again. Goat milk
again.
infant formula
For infant goats?
Enfamil Nutra Megan hypoallergenic infant formula powder. So a lot of that stuff, which we knew was recalled, because that was recalled in the top. Do you remember this? It was a big deal.
Yes, I remember.
So there's that. Then you have Echinacea Immune Support Tea, Yogi, which I have some of that in the tea pantry.
I literally was like, oh, safe to say I would never drink that. And then you're like, it's right over there.
It's because Echinacea is really good to help your sore throat.
So I don't know what that voice was. It's the wildest tea in the wilderness.
So there's that.
Echinacea?
Echinacea.
I barely know her. Okay, go ahead. You
have Slim Express coffee, long green coffee, 2 of those, House of Coffee Beans, so blah, blah, blah. Again with a Enfamil.
More Enfamil. Baby formula if you're not
You have
familiar.
Waiakia Hawaiian Volcanic Water, which we've had when we went to Hawaii. Actually, I think they sell it in the airports.
When we went where?
To Hawaii.
Thank you.
Powerade Mountain Berry Blast.
What?
Powerade Zero Fruit Punch, which is also in our fridge.
No, that's Gatorade Zero.
That's Gatorade Zero. But we did have Powerade.
Hey, let me ask
during our house rebuild.
If you had a choice between like a blue Gatorade or a blue Powerade, which way are you going?
I think I'm going Gatorade.
Oh, Powerade for sure.
But we were a Gatorade family, I think. Although now my family likes Powerade. Which
I'm drinking Haterade, girl. I've never enjoyed Gatorade. Powerade, though, which when you say it back to back, total ripoff, right? Yeah. Gatorade, Powerade. I think it's Gatorade because it was the football team, the college football team, the Gators. Yeah, it was like, this is Gatorade. I think I remember a commercial about that. Hit me up if that's right.
Powerade.
But Powerade, they're like, this is Powerade.
They were just trying to
knock off.
But they did a good job.
Did you have Propel as a kid?
Yeah.
I loved Propel.
I liked Propel water.
It was just like the essence.
Which is why we now like flavored water.
Yeah, because I think Propel was just sugar water that had electrolytes in it. I don't think it really had
they had other ones that were not as good, but that had the hint of flavor.
I like the Propel ones because they had like a tip on the bottle, right?
Yeah, that you would like twist and
yeah, it was like a twist, and it was like you could kind of like make out with the bottle, right? Like it goes between your lips. I guess all tips like that do, but this one like it wasn't like a boing, it was more like a zhuzh. Like it was a horizontal, fit the shape of your mouth.
It's like the knob when you turn on the stove.
Yeah,
that was what a Powerade bottle was.
It wasn't like a nip tip. It was like a stove knob.
Yeah.
Okay,
live with that. So Powerade Zero, Mixed Berry, and Zero Fruit Punch. So we did have the Fruit Punch one in our fridge. Some of these I'm going to go into why they were recalled.
Thank you.
Okay.
I need to know why I'm going to die.
Carrot juice from Trader Joe's and a different nether company.
From Trader Joe's?
Trader Joe's. There's a lot of milk and baby formula stuff. Another like baby's vitamin, organic vanilla oat milk.
Can you imagine paying triple the price going out of your way as a mom to get the organic baby oat milk vanilla thing? And then they're like, guess what? That's the one that's killing your kid.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you why some of these things had stuff. We're almost there. There's a company called Charles Bogini.
Charles Bogini?
I don't know who he is, but he had a bunch of things recalled in his company.
He sounds like
including a cola flavoring base. So like that's in all of like any type of soda. He also had pink lemonade, yellow lemonade, and some of their tea. Now here's where it gets interesting.
Oh, now it gets interesting?
Yeah, I know you think it was
I've been hooked.
Sorry, I'm going to get here. Around 1.9 million.
What?
Million bottles.
What?
Of Fiji water.
I have a Fiji water here now. The Fiji. Remember that girl from the show we shot?
The Fiji, yeah, I do.
Is there Fiji around here? Not for you, lady.
No, but they recalled after finding that there were 3 types of bacteria that were found in the water, in addition to the mineral
bacteria?
Manganese, which in high amounts can cause brain damage.
What? It's supposed to be from the prestigious mountains of Fiji.
Yeah, it's no. Wow. You also had Martinelli's apple juice.
Martinelli's.
Which was recalled because it contained...
apples?
Arsenic.
What? That's way different.
A toxic metal that may increase the risk of bladder and skin cancer.
And death. I think you take an arsenic pill like in the old days.
Yeah, you could die. But I was like, oh my gosh. Okay. And there's a couple others. I was wondering if they had the breakdowns of them. The last things that were on here were PepsiCo's mug root beer.
Ooh. See, I was like, Pepsi, she's safe because she doesn't drink Pepsi.
No.
But then I got to root beer.
I know. I'm a Barks girl. I'm not going to lie. Barks.
I believe it's a G.
I believe it's a Q.
You keep talking.
And then Schweppes Zero Sugar Ginger Ale.
Schweppes.
I don't know what it is. I have had it, but ginger ale.
It's Schweppes weeks, everybody.
Is that not how it's spelled?
Oh,
look at it. I guess it would be Schweppes.
It's Schweppes. There's not a double E in that whole word.
I was reading really fast. But the ginger ale.
Let's see. Okay, wait. I typed in root beer and then bar. Oh, it is a Q.
Barks. How long have you thought it was Barks?
Look, this is why our kid can't read and write. I think I'm dyslexic.
How long have you thought it was Barks?
My whole life. This is a Tillamook-Talamook situation. I blame my upbringing. Barks?
Can I see it?
Yeah. It's
Barks.
Barks?
Barks root beer.
Like a dog? It's not Bargs?
Barks.
Oh my gosh.
Barks root beer.
I'm hoisted on my own petard.
No. How to pronounce Barks. It's like number 4.
Press play. Oh, there's an ad before how to pronounce this word. Turn it up, though. I want everyone to know.
The following pronunciation is brought to you by pronouncenames.com.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my God. Not a sponsor.
Bark. Bark.
What does it say? Origin Indian.
Bark.
I don't know, but this
Why does it sound like an Indian woman saying it?
I don't know.
Is it an Indian company? No, it's Pepsi.
Pepsi. Wow. For those who think young.
I feel so ashamed. Danielle's going to be bargaining in my face. All right, you got any more recalled stuff, or do you want me to get into the stuff that I prepared? By the way, fair warning, since we're not in the studio, I don't have a clue what time we started recording. So this may be the longest or shortest episode ever.
Maybe, who knows? Also, it just says, I was looking it up because I wanted you to know, it was named after Edward Charles Edmund Bark. That's his last name after his other names. He's like you. He has 4 names.
Hit me with it again.
Edward Charles Edmund Bark, which
That's
Edward and
so
Edmund
bad.
are very close.
He's Sean Patrick Shaughnessy McGillicuddy.
It's basically what it is. Anyways, yeah.
Wow. People were bad at naming. Anyway, you ready to move on to some stories? Because I got some weird ones.
Yeah, but my recalls. So we may have had Barks.
Are you questioning how it's pronounced now? Because you stopped, you're like bar.
And we definitely had Zero Sugar Fruit Punch.
So if we die.
So I didn't tell me what was in the Zero Sugar Fruit Punch, so who knows what we ingested.
I'll tell you what's not in there.
Thing.
Sugar.
That's true. That's true. All right, I'm ready. I just wanted to say thank you for letting me share my recall drinks.
Hey, how do you feel about pigeons?
Okay, you've asked.
They're the chicken of the sea.
No, you've asked a very interesting question, so I'm gonna.
I don't think I did. I'm just be honest. I don't think that's a very interesting question.
In this season of my life, here's the deal: people always say that pigeons are the rats
of the sky.
Of the sky.
I called it the chicken of the sea.
You did. No, I was like, I think that's tuna.
Is it chicken or fish?
But recently, I saw a pigeon.
Oh man! Here we go.
This is weird. I know. I don't know where we were, but there was like we were in somewhere in this pigeon, and I was like, wow, they have like green feathers. I never even knew because I always look at pigeons and go, ooh, get away from your pigeons.
Because it had color, you're like,
no,
I've judged you.
I was like, oh, they're just as pretty as all these other birds.
But they're a nuisance. You don't see a bunch of cockatiels around here. Is that a dog or a bird?
A cockatiel's a bird. You're good.
Okay, cool. Let's keep going.
But they are the rats of the sky.
Well, I'll tell you who really has a problem with them.
Mm-hmm.
A random city in Germany.
Did they kill them all?
Why would you?
Oh, they didn't have a problem with them like that. They had a problem with them because something happened with a bunch of pigeons. They weren't like, we got a problem with you. Let's
just go ahead and unpack what you think a group of pigeons could have done that a whole city would have a problem.
No,
what scenario are you painting? Is it organized pigeon crime? What could you possibly be thinking?
I thought that they were like, we're just done with all these pigeons. And so we're like, we found a solution to keep pigeons out of our land. State.
This land is my land. It is not bird land.
Yeah.
No more pigeons right on my land. Pigeon problems. Germantown votes to have birds killed. So you were right.
Yeah.
They were having pigeon problems. And 53% of this Germantown was like, let's just kill them all.
Really?
Yes. They voted to kill them all. And the people of, like, the politicians in Germany were like, we didn't expect this, but this is why we voted. And now we have to have all, I think it was like 700 or 900 pigeons in our city killed.
Now I want to know, in a couple of months, what other problems are they going to have?
They're going to have, well, what do
From killing the pigeons. Like, what did you...
Yeah, what do pigeons do? Do they, like, take care of
I thought you were
mice? I didn't expect a question. All I know is what the article said.
You posed it. You were like, what do pigeons do?
Yeah, if I was like, do you know what pigeons do? Then we would know. But here's the deal. Yes, there were 700 pigeons in this city, which doesn't seem like a lot.
No, it sounds like a lot.
No, it doesn't.
Small.
Yeah, but like in LA, I mean, you can throw a rock and hit 700 pigeons. And that might be how they're killing them, actually. I'm just kidding, not really.
No, but pigeons help clean the environment by eating large amounts of seeds and waste.
Seeds and waste. Yeah, we don't need them here. Oh, here's what they said. Go
Pest
ahead.
Control. They consume insects, thus naturally controlling pest populations. And they contribute to plant pollination by transferring pollen from one area to another. So they help a lot. Okay.
Not in Germany. So they asked like the politicians, they're like, what the heck, man?
We're going to kill all these pigeons.
And the guy goes, today's result was unpredictable for us. The citizens have made use of their right and decided that the animals should be reduced by a falconer.
What does that mean?
Ever heard of a falconer? Basically, the falconer will lure the birds into a trap, hit them over the head with a wooden stick to stun them, and then break their neck.
Aw, that's sad.
Yeah,
that person seems like a serial killer.
A serial falconer?
900 pigeons.
700, so not that many. Do you remember, though?
If I killed 700 people or cats, you wouldn't be like, that's not that many. You'd be like, that chick is a serial killer.
Yeah, but I'm willing to bet that I've killed 700 ants in my life.
Pigeons are not ants.
Yes, so now we're just talking about size.
Yeah, because...
They're still conscious entities.
Yeah, I'm not snapping. Maybe I am, but I'm not going with my hands and snapping.
Not individually.
Of an ant. No, but that takes a lot.
Okay, well, look, I know for a fact that you've worked in places where mouses have been caught in traps.
Yeah, and I didn't do it.
No.
Caleb did it.
What did they do?
They ran them over with their car. That's how you kill a rat.
Yeah, and I've worked in places where they've done that. And they take the rat on the trap, they put him in a trash bag, and they just smash him into the ground.
Yeah.
Gross. By the way, as you might imagine, animal activists are not happy about this.
Of course not.
They're like, you can't just kill all these animals because you don't like them.
I mean, there's some truth to that.
Some truth to you can't?
Like, just because you don't like them, like you shouldn't. Except for spiders.
Yeah. Well, spiders aren't animals. They're arachnids.
That's true.
Nerd.
Except I did learn... I learned this recently. Did you send this to me, or are you going to learn something new?
I'm about to find out.
I learned recently that if you find a spider inside of your house,
you're within your rights to kill it.
No, and you take it outside, you've basically signed its death sentence.
Okay,
because they're not outside cats. They're not outside.
They're domesticated spiders. They're not wild spiders.
They are. So they said if you're going to take it outside, you might as well just step on it. Or like kill it.
That sounds like someone who wants to feel better about killing.
Listen. This person said, I know I could just sound like someone who's like, be nicer to spiders, but I've talked to this is the thing.
No, it's not.
Spider experts.
Yep, sure.
Who've said no, like they've done research and they've seen it and they do not last.
Well, maybe the spider shouldn't be in my freaking house.
They did say that if you leave the spider in the house, depending on what type of spider it is, that it'll
eat all the seeds.
No, catch your bugs.
And pollinate stuff.
So maybe we should put a spider in here that likes mosquitoes so it can eat the mosquitoes.
That's why we have Gwendolyn, the spider that lives in our room.
I don't know that Gwendolyn is still here.
I don't think she made it through the remodel.
I don't think she did either. I hope she escaped. Now I know that even if she escaped, she would have just died anyway.
By the way, so we've ripped out all of the ceilings and floors and everything in our house. So we're pretty much like bug-free is the way to be.
Except I found a very small spider yesterday.
But I found this bug, and maybe people know what it is. It's like a little over a half-inch long and very narrow. Kind of looks, it's the size of a pincher bug, but doesn't have pinchers. But if it flips on its back or gets accidentally put on its back, it clicks and flips over. It's like a pop socket. It's like, and it flips back over. And I'd never seen one of these monsters before. You know what I'm talking about? Did you see it?
European earwig?
Dude, it better not have been an earwig. That's like a fear I have.
I don't know what that is.
It's a bug that burrows into your ear.
Oh, no. I have that fear, too.
Le brain.
I have that. I don't know. The thing was, what is a pincher bug that jumps?
That's what you Googled?
No.
But this is what happens when we're not on camera. You're just free to Google.
But it says the European earwig may use these wings. I don't know that it's that. That would be terrifying. Let me just type in earwig.
Oh, gosh. Look, while you do that, can I tell you my next story?
Yeah, but did it look like this?
I don't know, because those are still pincher bugs.
That's a red-legged earwig.
It's a red-legged earwig. Crikey. Let it go, lady.
Okay.
Nextest one is a Texas one.
Okay.
I think we agree on this. Banning books is stupid.
Yeah. Unless they're hate
speech.
Hate
books. Right. It's not speech, books. I guess.
I was like,
libel.
But like hate speech book, or a book has hate speech in it.
Yeah. Well, there's a few states here in this great nation of ours that really are excited to ban books. Oh, one is Texas.
Yeah.
But this article is, Texas library must reinstate books with butts and farts, court says. And I was like, this is pretty funny. Look at this book that I had to put back in here.
I need a new butt.
I need a new butt. Anyway, I was happy that they had to put these books back in because...
Yeah, why did they have to put them back in?
Why do they have to? Because someone took them to court. And they said, this is an infringement on freedom of speech to censor these books.
I mean, to censor any books, really. But.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's tricky because it's like, there's a difference between a book versus like a Playboy magazine or something. You know, which I'm like, I get that because that's... While it maybe falls under your freedom of speech, that's different than a kid reading a book, clearly a child's book that says, I need a new butt or whatever.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Also, I think it's crazy that states have the opportunity to choose which books they want to ban.
Yeah.
Because if we are the United States of America and not just different countries, it's like, how can Florida ban books about like Maya Angelou, who's like literally in the history books?
Yeah.
Like, because then what? Do they just rewrite the history of the United States? But like, that's okay. Even though we are the United States, it's okay for one state to learn something different. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Let me see.
In 20 years, people are going to meet
from like
different schools from different states. And they're going to be like, oh, did you ever read blah, blah, blah? And they're going to be like, what's that book? They're going to have like this crazy...
What is Twilight?
I can't say that word, but...
You can say whatever you want.
Crazy like mind fuck, you know, where they're like, oh my God, like there's all this history that I didn't learn because I lived in Florida or whatever.
Didn't you feel like that though? I felt like that because I went to a Christian school.
Yeah.
And then I ended up at a non-Christian university and I was like, oh, there's a lot of like the world. Here's like, I understand as a parent that you want to like shield your kid from certain things.
Yeah, sure.
But then to not give them a bit of an on-ramp into the reality of the real world, I think is detrimental to a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Because you need to be like, hey, like I kept 50 Shades of Grey away from you, but it's time that you knew what it was and that people are into it. Like, there's never the bridge or whatever. And I think that
the bridge that not everyone thinks the same thing you do. Like, because you're talking about going to a Christian school. Yeah. I had a lot of that with my friends growing up. I went to public school, very diverse public school too.
Yeah.
But like, they were shocked that like they knew people were different religions, but they had never like met people that didn't believe in Jesus.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it was like really hard for them and which was so odd to me because I was like, no one I know has ever really been like me in school. Like,
yeah,
we're
and
all
you were
so
in
different.
theater and stuff too.
Yeah,
like,
anyway, so I didn't want to derail. I was just saying. Like,
no, you're good. You're good. We can get into that on a hardly working through it, I guess.
Go. I want to hear your thoughts.
On what?
You're saying that you have to have an off ramp. You have to like
no, an on ramp.
An on ramp to teach them. Yeah,
it's really jarring for people. Like, think about it this way: like the Amish or Quakers that live on, away from everything, and then they have their Rumspringa.
I'm proud of you for remembering that.
I remember it from an episode of this very podcast.
Yeah, because I watched Bones, but Rumspringa.
But like, they're always like, "I'm shocked. It's crazy. This exists." And of course, they have like an opportunity to like come back or stay or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I think that that's an extreme version of what happens to a lot of people that I knew growing up who were sheltered or grew up in church and Christian school. Like, everything that they did was Christian. It was like, I played in a Christian baseball league. That's sports team.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called right now. I was going to say
Christian Allegiance.
Oh, VCAA. Oh. It was like Valley Christian Athletic Association or something like that.
Very Christian.
Yeah, exactly. But like, you can have these kids, and I wasn't totally like this, but I guess I wasn't. Actually, I probably was a lot like this. When your only worldview is a certain thing, there's a part of you that believes that most people think this way, except for the people who, in this case, need to be saved or whatever. But like, those people, they've got to be few and far between, because everyone in my life basically believes everything that I do. And it is really shocking when you get out there into the real world. And I think what happens is, this is based off of my experience looking at people. Most people who are so heavily engulfed through those formative years in specifically Christian things, they don't go into real world jobs.
Yeah, no.
They're like, I'm just going to be a photographer now. I'm going to do something creative where I just shoot weddings.
Yeah, or I'm
going to be a florist, or I'm going to...
Yeah, I work for the church.
A lot of the working for the church. Yeah, which is fine. Yeah. If that's the bubble you want to stay in, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes people go into a real workplace.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, like, not only do people not believe what I believe, but there's black, white, brown, yellow people here. There's men, women, kings, queens, in-betweens, trans people, Muslims, Christians, Jews, like all of this stuff. And rather than going like, it's a beautiful part of the world that we're all so very different in our physical as well as philosophical identities.
Yeah. It's
met with like, retreat back to the safe white Anglo-Saxon bubble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least that's been my experience here in Southern California.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I went to public school my entire life.
Yeah.
And very diverse public schools.
Mm-hmm.
So like that experience I didn't quite have. I watched it happen.
Yeah.
For many of my friends.
Really?
Yeah. Like I remember, it was like such a weird thing because I actually felt like the church that I attended was pretty diverse as well.
Yeah.
But and this is not me, but someone that I knew. But I like distinctly remember this, watching someone I knew like come into contact with like a person of color, like a black person for the first time, and being so freaked out and scared because their only experience was like TV shows that you would watch with that stuff would happen.
Yeah.
Outside of like the Christian people they knew at church that were safe because they were at church. But I remember watching that happen, and it like really rubbed me the wrong way, like a lot.
Yeah.
But it was like such a weird thing for me because I was like, for me, I was like, this is very odd to say, but like, I'm the minority where I live half the time. Like none of that. I would like never register a person that way. And in general, I would never, unless you came at me with a knife. Yeah, I think I'd register you as like, oh, you're like a bad person, but like that could be anybody.
Yeah, sure.
But that was like the response.
Yeah.
And it was so weird.
Yeah, and that's what I mean about all of this, the sheltering. I'm a helicopter parent because I don't want my kid to get hurt or, find themselves in a situation that could and should have been prevented if she had a parent with her. But at the same time, it's the reason why I never have wanted to homeschool my kid. Because there's like, I don't know if there's a better way to set your kid up to not understand social norms and how the world works and how to interact with others or have a relationship romantically, interpersonally, friendship wise, whatever it is, than to keep them at home with their brothers and sisters, teaching them in the house.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if you're a homeschool person. I'm sure you have a lot of reasons that you do that. But having worked with a lot of homeschool kids when I was working with children, you could put 100 kids in a lineup and I could pick out the homeschool kids just from how they stand. Mm-hmm. Like they don't have to open their mouths. I don't have to ask them a question. I can immediately pick out the homeschool ones. Of course, I'm painting with a broad stroke here. Not everyone's like that. But if you want to have like set your kid up for success, I think it's really important to give them a multitude of experiences.
Yeah.
Not just like they do soccer and art, but I mean like take them to different places.
Yeah.
You know, when there's a homeless person on the street, like, and they ask like, how do you think that person got there? Like talk to them about what it looks like between the cliche drugs and alcohol to the more normalized personality disorders and mental illness. Yeah. Like, and talk to them about like the realities of what that's like. And like, can you imagine every day having to sleep on the sidewalk or not knowing where to go to the bathroom? There's so many learning opportunities for kids that we just brush over if you keep them in your living room all the time or you keep them in the bubbles.
That's true.
So don't ban books. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think banning books is dumb. Unless it's hate speech.
I agree. Or hate, right.
Whatever you
brought it full circle. This one I just wanted to mention really fast because it was sad, but I was also kind of curious how you'd feel if it happened to us. Woman's bittersweet $1 million lottery win as husband dies from brain tumor 2 weeks later. Now, I'm not going to ask how much money you'd have to win in the lottery to be okay with me dying, but does it make it a little easier, do you think? You're like, I lost my husband, but I did just win $1 million. Like, it's got to make it a little better.
It would make it better because I wouldn't feel the pressure to have to work.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, there's an opportunity to have a mourning process or to like get away somewhere if I wanted to with no financial burden.
Yeah.
Other than the taxes you'll pay on the $1 million that you won. So you really have like half of that. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, is the lottery just a way for the government to make more money?
I have no idea. If
you win $1 million and the government gets $500,000 because you won, that's a pretty sweet deal. Because the government didn't even have to pay for the lottery ticket.
It's also
they just won the lottery too. Oh my God!
It is crazy how much they take out in taxes. By the way, like it's insane to me that you could make a large amount of money but only see like a less than half.
Yeah,
or a little bit more than half.
I'm not a person that.
Like, why? Sorry, why are my taxes different if I make more money? Like, help me understand that.
You have to make $1 bazillion to not have to pay any taxes. That's pretty cool. It's like you beat the game and you leveled up all the way.
Yeah.
So now you don't have to participate. No, but here's the deal. I don't really care about taxes. I just wish, because we pay a lot of taxes, specifically out here in California, like, why isn't healthcare a part of that?
Yeah.
You know, like all of those.
I don't use it every day. Just sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know. But anyway, this woman won $1 million.
But then her husband died.
True. But she won it off a scratcher. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
She won $1 million off a scratcher in Pennsylvania. And like you said, her husband died. But it says this woman's name is Karen. She's no stranger to winning the Pennsylvania lottery. She previously won $65,000 on a scratch-off ticket. She's got luck like your mom.
No, but how many scratch-offs do you have to get to win that much money? Is she
a scratch-off
addict?
Probably. But how many scratchers would you need to do to get to lose $65,000 or $1 million? Like, she's definitely winning.
Yeah.
But she's already made $65,000 off a scratcher 14 years ago and bagged another $500 just weeks before the $1 million win. This is your mom in a casino on a cruise.
Yeah, it's true.
Every night of the week. However, the latest win came from with a touch of sadness. Karen's husband, Rob, sadly passed away from a brain tumor just 2 weeks after her big win.
Well, hopefully that big win helps pay for any medical bills or anything they have.
That's true. Here's what she said, and it was kind of cute. She said, during his final days, he expressed concern about Karen's financial security without him. Quote, throughout the years, I kept telling him, you watch, one of these days I'm going to hit the $1 million, Karen told them. You watch and see. And he would just laugh at me and say, yeah, right. And I was like, come on, with my luck, you know I'm going to hit it. And then whenever I hit it, I said to him, Rob, you can go ahead and go. You don't have to worry. I'll be okay. This is so weird.
Yeah.
She's like, baby, I want $1 million. And don't worry. You can let go now.
I like how you've given these characters accents.
Yeah, they're from Pennsylvania.
I know,
so it's more like, don't worry, you can go now.
Is that how Pennsylvanians sound?
They talk like with marbles in their mouth. Like, let's go, that's my jam. Yeah, we should go to the Wawa.
Are there any famous people that are from Philadelphia?
None. How about Sylvester Stallone? So Pennsylvanians talk like this.
You kind of sound like a surfer dude, bro.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that.
So that's why I was like...
It's like the East Coast, West Coast.
Sure.
Anyway, if you're going to win $1 million, be willing to lose your spouse. That's what I'm getting at.
That's sad.
I have one more quick one. I think we're on hour 3 of the show.
Yeah, it sounds about right to me.
I'm not sure. Cannibal with insatiable appetite fed neighbors human flesh at barbecues. Shockingly, there weren't a lot of good articles to pick from this week, but you wouldn't know it with all the good ones I found.
I'm sorry. Oh God.
That's him. A man accused of cooking up human flesh for an unknown group of neighbors led to a macabre arrest for the would-be chef. So basically, he was this dude who was already very troubled and has a history of crime. It says he would invite his neighbors over for barbecues, and he was accused of cooking up human flesh. It says they'd come to the cookouts where the menu would include burgers, spaghetti, chili, meat pies, and casseroles. Now, the reason I bring this up is, one, because it fits with us. A little bit, yeah. But also, it reminded me a little bit about something that I always want to do a segment on is, what crazy documentary did we watch this week? It's The Perfect Wife. And if you don't want it spoiled, tough. Go watch it right now. It's 3 episodes. Spoiler alert. And look, we've already given you 12 hours of content. So if you don't want to hear about The Perfect Wife, give it a break.
Fast forward like 30 seconds.
But did that not remind you a little bit of The Perfect Wife?
A little bit, except that she wasn't a cannibal.
Spoilers! She's not a cannibal. No, but it reminded me of just how you never know somebody. Your neighbor.
Yeah, that's true.
Our neighbor.
We don't go to any.
Ray could be a cannibal. He could invite us over.
I've been inside his house before.
Did it have human body parts off of human bodies?
No, I mean, just my dad's and his.
Ew, what?
Like, it's our normal body parts.
Okay, it sounded gross when you said it. But you never know. So I was reading this and I was like, you never know who people are.
Yeah.
And that was a big part of The Perfect Wife.
It was. You never knew who she was.
You want to give a little bit of a rundown for people who are interested in what it is but aren't going to watch it?
I don't want to spoil it because, it's funny. It's Craig and I were just talking about this on Instagram because he posted about it and he was like, it was so good. And I was like, it was so good. It's like, that's crazy.
I don't know if he still listens, but he would.
It's crazy.
Hear it.
And I was like, oh my gosh, like the lead up of it is just so good. 3 episodes. Like truly.
It's on Hulu.
Yeah, it's on Hulu. You can start to make your guesses about what you think happened. But man, the reveal comes in the 3rd episode and the buildup of it is just really great. Truly.
Yeah, let me give a spoiler-free premise. A man, a woman, married. The wife is amazing, but gets kidnapped for not 1 day, not 1 week, but 1 + 1 + 1, about 3 weeks, and then mysteriously turns up with scars, branding on her body, tied up in chains. Who kidnapped her? Where did she go? Was it the husband? Was there someone else? Was there more to the story? Was she alive? Was she dead? Did she have a twin that took her place? Did her neighbors feed her human flesh at a barbecue? All this and more on Hulu's The Perfect Wife. How was that?
That was pretty good, but you gave some spoilers.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said the eat human flesh part.
Anyway, it was really good.
It's essentially a whodunit of like a woman gets kidnapped. The whole city is looking for her.
It's the second kidnapping that's occurred.
From the same high school, even though she was an adult, same high school as the other girl who got kidnapped.
Yeah.
And they went to high school together. It was crazy. But yeah, kidnapping story. Where is she? Where'd she go? Will she come back? Who did it? How did it happen? All this stuff. It's got twists and turns galore. And I just want to point out that I said spoiler alert. I was
100% you did.
Full willing and ready to spoil. And the people listening were ready for spoilers.
True, but you then said, let me give a spoiler-free trailer.
Don't come back at me with truth and facts.
And there's just some spoilers in there, but it's okay.
No one will ever know. You got to go watch it. That was a good time. It was a good time. Well, we've got some unpopular opinions, but we can also wrap it up if you want to. We've been going for quite some time.
How many unpopular opinions do you have?
I have 5.
Give the people what they want.
Give the people what they want. Give the people what they... Here we go. The hairdresser washing your hair is easily the worst part of any appointment.
No.
Right? It's the best part.
It's the best part.
And I can't remember the last time it's happened to me, but it is like getting a good back scratch.
Yeah.
Unless there's always a time where they pull on your head and your head's never really resting in the sink correctly. And
it's better now.
Is it better now? Because it used to be not great. But there was that moment of like,
it's really nice. I think, how did I get my hair so clean?
That's what you think?
Every time, because my hair feels so clean for days.
Do you think that's the wash or the cut or the products or what?
It could be the product that they're using to wash your hair.
Whenever you get a haircut, you don't want to wash your hair for as long as possible.
No, yeah, because it just feels nice. It's the best part.
I agree. It is the best part. Well, that was a quick one. Let me give you another one. Young people not knowing basic repair and maintenance skills is as embarrassing as boomers' technological ignorance.
I think so.
I think that's actually a great point.
Yeah. I mean, I think you have to figure out what is basic. But like for me, I go, you should be, well, I guess I'm not really fair.
Hit me with it. Come on.
Well, I'll change it. But like you should know how to like tighten a pipe.
Do you know how to do that?
Well, like I know that you need a wrench. That's better. You should know like basic tools.
Yeah.
Like if I ask you for a Phillips versus a flathead, like you should know that and not be like, what the heck is a Phillips?
I was impressed with our knowledge of stuff as we built the house.
Yeah.
Granted, Ryan and your dad did most of it.
Yeah, but still. but there's like the basic knowledge of like being able to look at something like, okay, there's something wrong, something's loose, something's not right. And like the tool that I may need would be, it's going to be between pliers and a wrench.
Yeah. I'll be honest, like I'm grateful that I had a grandfather that taught me a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Whether it was repairing little things around the house or even like sprinklers, all that kind of stuff. Like I had a good base of that.
Yeah, you know how to fix a lot of things. I think I have like a basic understanding. Yeah. Like I will figure it out.
I'm surprised with how much I know based on the persona I put out.
Yeah, I think that's what it is for me. Based off of who you are as a person, like your persona.
Yeah.
I think it always surprises me that you know how to fix more things.
I think it's...
You go like, I can fix it. And I'm always like, you can?
Yeah.
Now there's some things that I'm like, yeah, fix the toilet. Yeah, you got it. I know.
I think it's because I also have the how hard could it be gene.
Yeah.
And the frugalness of like, I don't want to pay somebody to do this. Yeah. And so I've had to learn a lot of things over the years. But yeah, I do think we give boomers a hard time for their inadaptability to technology. But I do think it's pretty equally embarrassing if you don't know how to like use a screwdriver or something.
Yeah. Or like, because I guess the thing would be is that they can fix, like my dad's actually really good at technology. Yeah. But he can fix like way more things than you and I can fix.
Yeah.
He might not be the fastest at texting someone, but like you need him to do anything. Boom, he's the person that we call to be like, how do you do this?
It's true.
So I do think it's embarrassing. Although I know how to change a light fixture.
Do you?
Yeah. I've changed 2 in our house.
You have to, yeah.
Uh-huh. So I know how to do it now.
Electricity runs in your blood.
Yes.
Electricianness. All right, a couple more. I don't know if we've been doing this for an hour or two. The YouTube background video I put on says we've been doing it for 2 hours.
No.
But that doesn't seem right.
No.
Well, there's only an hour left of the video, so that's as long as we can go. Let's do this one. Most people don't have big dreams in life, and that's fine.
Most people don't have big dreams in life, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not everyone is meant to make it big and do different things. Some people have small dreams. It's funny. Think about it. Like, think about how many cities and towns there are in the entirety of the United States.
Yeah.
Of America, I should say. Sorry, I need to say that. It's the opposite. I shouldn't say America. I should say the United States. I wanted to be right.
Okay.
But like if all of those people in all of those towns had very big dreams.
Yeah. Wow. Yes, they all had very big dreams.
Then there would be no, like, everyone would just be achieving their dreams or like reaching for the highest things.
So you're saying some people need to do the grunt work.
Yeah, because if we don't, like, who's gonna listen? If everyone wanted to be an actor, who would be the people that like are chefs or that farm or that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So not everyone can have big dreams, but sometimes their dreams might be big for them.
That's true. My thought on this, excuse me, I've yawned twice now and I apologize.
Sorry that I'm boring.
Yeah. What are you going to do though? I think my philosophy has changed on this. I used to be kind of critical and judgmental towards people who weren't motivated, didn't have big aspirations and all that kind of stuff, because I just assumed that everybody could, would, or should be wired the way that I am, which is like, I am an achiever, so I think a lot about big dreams or what I want to do. But that's what I used to think. But now I'm like, I've lived enough life and I've met enough people and I've seen how achieving those type of lofty goals doesn't necessarily bring even the level of contentment that some of these other people have.
Yeah.
I sent you a video, which was like from a Ring doorbell perspective. And it was a couple, maybe in their 70s or something. And the kids were playing in the front yard, the grandkids. And the guy just looks over at his wife and he's like, "We did good, didn't we?" And she was like, "Yeah, we've had a good life." I was like, that's should be the mark of big dreams and success. Is like, you know, do you have you given everything that you could to the ones that needed it in your life? For a lot of us, it's our kids. It could be our friends. It could be whatever. But, you know, I think for me, I'd be like, have a kid or have a family. Like, that's I wouldn't say an easy goal, but like, I don't know. That's not as big of a goal as like have your own TV show or become president or whatever it is. You know, all the lofty things we learn about growing up. And I think it's good. And not like we should all lower our expectations. But as a person who struggles with contentment, so I was talking to my therapist about this week, I do think it's okay to not have big dreams. I think it's okay. Also, this is the capitalistic mindset I've tried to work myself out of. Like, you can go work a job and then come home and live your life. You can just work in order to live rather than live in order to work so you can climb the corporate ladder and maybe you have a company of your own one day or you'll be the VP. Like, you don't have to do that. And I just kind of assumed that you did.
Yeah, no, you don't have to. And I think it's okay to have smaller dreams.
Yeah. Excuse me. That was the full thought. I think it was okay to have smaller dreams.
I do. I do think it's okay to have smaller dreams. And you talked about like contentment or like being happy or, you know, or I would say living out here in California, being surrounded by the people that we just are naturally surrounded by. I think it's easy to be disappointed or dissatisfied or like you're not good enough. Either of those things because you can see everyone. You can see the largest dreams. Yeah, there are.
That's a good point.
Whereas like if I were to live in the Midwest somewhere in a small town, I'm not talking a big town, like a small town. You just might not see those like crazy out there dreams as something that's actually achievable because that all happens in LA or New York or somewhere else. Doesn't happen here. Yeah. And so you have different dreams that are probably more accessible and probably leave you feeling happier because you aren't seeing a bunch of people around you doing these big things that you maybe go, I wish I could do that.
You might be happier because you're not comparing yourself to those people.
That's what I mean.
We can see celebrities and we don't go like, that's not achievable. We're like, I've met that person. Like, I know it's achievable, so I should be trying to achieve it or striving towards that. But when you're further removed from it, I think it is easier to see it as the outliner or the exception that proves the rule. And if I had to choose whether to be famous or happy, I would pick happy any day. but I equated famous with happy and with successful and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel lucky that there's times and places in my life where like I still get that side of fame in the sense of like people stop me and take photos with me, or people, you know, want me to, they'll pay me to come be in a certain place at a certain time. Like that's pretty cool. But if I had to choose between any level of that versus not contentment in the sense of, it sounds boring, but in happiness and like inner peace, I'd pick that anytime.
Yeah. Maybe
that's just because I'm striving towards that and I'm wanting more joy and happiness and peace. I don't know. But yeah, it's flipped for me. I think it's okay to just live and exist. Yeah, I think that's true. I wish more people felt that way. Yeah. Well, I've got more to talk about, but I think that might be a good place to wrap up. Now, unfortunately, in terms of things to look forward to, I had Pilates class on here because I wrote this before we took Pilates. Oh, yeah, but we could take another Pilates class. Oh, no, that sounds terrible. No, it doesn't. It sounds like a lot. We could try the new place. You tell me how you feel tomorrow morning when you wake up. Okay, I'll tell you. And we'll see if we do another one. I have a fun gig coming up. Do you? Yeah, I can't talk about it. Okay. But I have a fun gig coming up that I'm excited. We're doing our new activation, the retro Polaroids. It's crazy. I mean, every time you conceive of an idea, it gets booked immediately. I know. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah. Well, you ready to wrap it up for this week? I am, but I'm looking forward to that. And then we also have 4th of July. And 4th of July is not a holiday that I'm like, yay, 4th of July. We are going to a pool party with Brooklyn. Yeah. And then potentially going to see fireworks with her. Yeah. At like the only place that does fireworks in the Valley in a VIP area. Dang. It's going to be good times. So we should see if Oliver will be awake for fireworks this year. Oh, yeah. But he's just a baby. They probably wouldn't want to come out here. But he's just a baby. He's just a baby. All right. Well, that's it for this week's episode of Hardly Working. Thanks for hanging. Thanks for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed it even a fraction as much as we enjoyed it. I love all the shows that turn into giggle fits and go off the rails and are nonsense. We hope you love it too. That's exactly what I was going to say. Really? Yeah. Oh, yay. Also, apologize if this became a 2-parter. To have a high feeling. No way. It's going to be a mega episode. Okay. Or a 2-parter. Either way. What's weird is like this is the closest to what it would be like for someone listening just to our real life. Obviously, we're not like, here's this article. No, yeah. We'd be playing like video games and talking about the stuff that we saw or learned or but it is laughing at stupid things. But we do laugh a lot. Yeah. And that's awesome. So that's why I think I like the giggles. Is because it feels like our truest self and that kind of stuff. That is true. It is true. I love you. So come join us. I love you. I love you too. I love you too. Uh-huh. Now we're ending on a bad note. Well, goodbye, everyone. No. Goodbye forever. No. I love you. I love you too. And we love you guys. We love you. And we hope you spend most of your week hardly working. Bye.